What's your idea of an awesome Saturday night? Maybe a great date, maybe a movie, maybe just a night in. Well, last Saturday night, I joined the professor of medicine and prolific meditation expert, Jon Kabat-Zinn, for an evening of mindfulness practice and inquiry. This stuff. So, what was this all about? One of the amusing elements of the evening was hearing why people came to such an event. One person was brought there on an adventure date. One person came admitting that he was curious about mindfulness, but had a really ambivalent relationship with it, and even felt very skeptical, and even had lied in the past and said he had a mindfulness practice when he indeed did not. An additional person was coming there as a school teacher, hoping to impart the lessons of mindfulness better to her students and to really control her classroom. For me, I was a little anxious and scrolling through the events at Lincoln Center and came across Jon Kabat-Zinn, whose books I'm familiar with, and I also noticed his birthday was the same as mine, so I said, oh, let's try it, let's see what this is about, and let's go check it out. So, hi, I am Kimber, Domke, mindful food and fitness coach, and recently I've been talking a little bit about investigating your why. Specifically, why you care about your body, specifically why you care about your health, and maybe why you care about some of the goals that you have in your life. Because understanding your why is one of the keys to making progress in all of these realms. So if you ask yourself why, but you find that you are drawing a blank, that you're just kind of grazing the surface, not coming up with anything, or you're finding just the most superficial of answers, I want to draw your attention to approaching the question why more mindfully. And what is mindfulness anyways? So that's what I also want to talk to you today about. Mindfulness is non-judgmental observation with intention. That means you're paying attention to something that's happening right now, and you're paying attention on purpose, and you're trying not to apply all of your prejudgments and conceptions and kind of good and bad and labeling to your observation. That non-judgmental factor is tremendously important. There's a ton to unpack there, so we may revisit that another time, but for today, I also wanted to share with you why investigating this question of why is so important to do mindfully. And one of the answers is less emotional reactivity. And that's where my friendly monster sock faces come in today. So those who have a practice of mindfulness, even if it's something small, even if it's just a few minutes a day or you miss some days, it's okay. You can do this in any context, literally walking down the street more mindfully, paying attention on purpose, absolving yourself and withholding judgment from everything that you're taking in, everything that you're observing. That practice of mindfulness has been shown through bunches and bunches of research to help decrease your emotional reactivity. And again, that comes back to this guy. If your emotions feel like they're driving you out of control, and oftentimes emotions will be a reason why you are not achieving your health and fitness goals, right? You're cranky, you're being a little bit of a brat, you're feeling sad, you're feeling lazy, you're feeling tired, you're feeling angry, right? So having severe or significant emotional reactivity that gets in the way of your goals could be helped very easily by a mindful approach to anything in your life, whether it's eating, whether it's walking, whether it's your thinking process. So thinking and observing your thinking when you're asking yourself your why. I know this gets a little bit meta, so take it in and just remember that mindfulness involves paying attention on purpose and without judgments in the present moment. That means now. All right. This helps to disengage the automatic neural pathways, right? So our brain over time develops really consistent, really deeply worn paths of thought, And the mindfulness practice is one way that expands your thinking capacity to open you up to new ideas and to give your brain that moment to come up with something different besides going down the same track again and again and again. And that's why it comes back and ties so nicely into your whys, why you care about fitness, why you care about health, why you might be wanting to change some of your habits around eating. All right, basically, mindfulness helps the brain to think more adventurously, more openly, and to come up with new answers and solutions. So my challenge to you today is to spend just 3 minutes this week in some sort of mindful practice. Like I said, it could be walking, it could be eating, it could be merely thinking about your why more mindfully. And see if you notice, if you can do this practice more consistently, if your emotional reactivity, feeling like a monster, which I was feeling the other day, if that emotional reactivity just drops down a notch or two. It takes a bit of time, but in a week to a month, you definitely could observe a difference. Thanks so much for watching. This has been Kimber Domke, mindful food and fitness coach, espousing and trying to educate you on the benefits of mindfulness, including decreased emotional reactivity. Emotions have a function, but we don't want to feel overwhelmed like a crazy monster out of control. Thanks again, and head on over to the website kimberdomke.com for updates that I don't share anywhere else. You can sign up for the email list and be in the know. Take care, have an awesome day, and wishing you some mindfulness of your emotions.